Hey again, Kirk here. Quick update for you on the Haptic GForce feedback, primarily to be used in driving simulators. Big update is we were designing a 8-motor prototype that, after getting into it a bit, it turns out it was going to cost probably 10 grand to build a few prototype devices, and I could build a one-off Frankenstein with a bunch of wires, which is exactly what I was doing, for probably a grand or two. So a few weeks ago, a friend from Sweden who's anonymously helping me out, he's in the industry, he basically sent me a heads up on Texas Instruments, who is releasing a new version of their dev sort of prototype here. Evaluation kit is a better name for it. It's almost exactly what I was sort of putting together with a bunch of different pieces, and it's all combined on this circuit board, which is about yay big. So it can drive 8 drivers, which is exactly what we're doing. It's using the exact same I2C switch, which we had been using in the early version of the prototype we were building. So now I figure I'm going to probably save about $5,000 to $10,000 in a year of troubleshooting. It's almost like somebody at TI saw the first video and decided to make my life a lot easier. And so now in a couple, 3 weeks, who knows when exactly, but soon, I'll be able to get this evaluation kit from Texas Instruments, plug in 8 motors, which I've already had shipped in from the UK, update the software to split up the axes, lateral, vertical, etc. And the way, basically what I'm thinking at this point, given 8 motors, you have to sort of figure out how to use them. So I'm going to have 3 for sort of front back, 3 for left right, and then the remaining 2 for feeling bumps, or if you're in banking like in my old video, bank turns, you'll sort of feel it compressing you. A quick point about that is some people have brought up, well, why not just get a sort of one of those motion rigs for sim racing? And that's a good question. I'd love to try one. I to be honest, I haven't tried one yet, but there are certain things that they can't do. One is sort of millisecond latency, right? It's got to adjust you into the position before you start feeling that G-force. Adjusting you sort of throws some weird complications into the mix, especially with head tracking. So I have a Oculus Rift DK2 now, and it's really sensitive to sort of moving your head around. So when you're getting sort of jostled around in a motion rig, it's going to have all kinds of weird impacts. And so this thing is way cheaper than a motion rig. It's super low latency. It's pretty powerful when you actually try it. I'm just using one motor at this point, but it's got some kick. So 8 motors, and I could pull it out, but I've got a new power supply. USB can only drive like 2 of these motors, so you're gonna have to plug it into the wall. But it's still USB powered, and it'll have 3 motors for left and right, so you'll have more resolution in terms of the forces that it's conveying, and still 2 left over for up and down. So anyway, good news. I got a Logic Cube for troubleshooting I2C. I was kind of using LEDs, which were interfering with the I2C communication, so it's kind of a nightmare. So between having pretty much a fully baked prototype and 20 pages of exactly what I needed to know to make it work via the software, I've got the USB piece figured out through FTDI cables, and it's kind of coming together. Good news. And yeah, between the VR side of things, which is pretty amazing, I'm kind of getting immersed in it. In fact, last thought on this, put on the VR, I'm driving iRacing in direct mode, I'm driving Assetto Corsa in extended mode. I literally have not gone back to using the monitor at all for sim racing since putting on that VR headset the first time. So it's kind of the future. I can't imagine we'll ever go back to monitors once the resolution gets high enough. So lots of weird, interesting things converging on the sim racing space, and I'll spare you the rambling thoughts, but basically, good news. Hopefully, end of the year-ish, I'll have a fully functional 8-motor prototype if all the stars align, and I'll start letting people try it out. Thanks for your time, and I will keep you posted.